Hello, my name is Joey, and I'm going to be telling you why Rome did not fall in a day, it fell over the course of centuries. Alright, let's get started. The Western Roman Empire was in a state of societal collapse for hundreds of years before the actual recorded fall of the empire on September 4th, 476 AD. The civilizational collapse of the Western Roman Empire was characterized by the loss of cultural and moral identity, a weakening economy and financial issues, religious turmoil, a weak political infrastructure, poor military decisions, disease, and because the empire could no longer defend itself against invasions, my research and arguments support my thesis statement that the Western Roman Empire was actually falling for several centuries due to economic, political, social, and military decisions well before the actual date of its recorded fall in 476 AD. I found a great deal of evidence and academic articles that support the Western Roman Empire was weakening in danger of falling for hundreds of years before it actually fell, signaling the end of the ancient world and ushering in the Middle Ages. The rise of Christianity seemed like it would have helped Rome as it turned to the world away from paganism, but we know that Rome was weakening during the later part of its reign. The influence of Christianity changed the economic conditions of Rome. Christianity brought its new Christian brotherhood that promoted mercy. Slavery couldn't have possibly survived in this changing society. The spread of Christianity through the Roman Empire was in direct conflict with imperialism in ancient Rome. Christians were not making sacrifices to emperors, and because of this, they were persecuted for treason. Rumored crimes and illegal assembly, these persecutions caused internal problems for Rome as Romans were fighting each other, causing a fracture in the empire. Rome was experiencing a weakening political and economic infrastructure. At one time, Rome had financial, stable, and significant tax revenue that supported a large military. When the Roman Empire divided into the East and West and stopped working together for common goals, the infrastructure weakened. The Western Roman Empire lost control of many Western territories as the barbarian kingdoms were constructed. Without tax revenue, Rome was spending more money than it was taking in. The dire Roman finances also put immense stress on the empire, contributing to its weakening. The trade deficit was the main cause of the financial issues the empire was experiencing. During the 3rd and 4th centuries, Rome experienced a revolving door of inept emperors. This instability affected governments and added to the empire's mounting problems. The Roman Empire was also distracted by good food and entertainment. The Roman citizens strayed from doing their civic duty and did not pay attention to what was actually happening politically. Romans seemed content to live off the state, but did not have the revenue to support them. Declining moral and cultural standards and the erosion of moral values contributed greatly to the fall of the Western Roman Empire. Citizens in many cases were complacent or simply focused on the well-being above that was best for the empire. Rome was plagued by civil war and invasions in the last 3 centuries before it fell. In many of these wars and conflicts, the soldiers were loyal to specific generals and not the Western Roman Empire itself. This is very problematic as the generals and warlords had more power than the emperors of the state itself. The Roman military was weakening in many ways, including less soldiers and poor military decisions that were based more on self-interest than the Roman prosperity and power. Emperor Majoran was a leader who attempted to make change of reforms and to restore Rome to its former glory and power. The invasion of the Germanic tribes was one of the biggest factors in the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. For years, the Germanic tribes migrated to Rome and lived mostly in peace with the Romans, with some episodes of violent clashing. The Roman army accepted the Germans as soldiers in many cases due to the declining number of Roman soldiers and difficulty funding their robust military. One of the biggest reasons for declining funds and maintaining the strong Roman military was declining tax revenue from conceding Western Roman territories. Rome was also affected by climate, disease, and famine during the last centuries of the Western Roman Empire. The expansive Roman Empire was located in the climatic regions of the Mediterranean and tropical desert climate. Infectious diseases can spread easier and more quickly in these climatic regions. There are more frequent outbreaks and pestilence and infectious fever in larger cities. Famine always allows pestilence. Plumbism was also one of the factors. Disease and famine caused in declining numbers of the Roman population, which directly affected military numbers. The fall of the Western Roman Empire is pivotal in world history and marked the end of the era of unprecedented power and influence. The Western Roman Empire fell due to multifaceted factors that contributed to the collapse of Rome, including internal issues such as economic decline, political instability, and military weaknesses, such as external pressures such as invasion and migration. Big idea number 3 encompasses the fall of Rome. While several factors played a part in the fracture of the subsequent crumbling of the Western Roman Empire, it was essentially the changing of beliefs and culture of Rome that had the great effect on Roman society as it collapsed. These factors give substantial evidence that Rome did not fall in a day, but rather crumbling for several centuries. So yeah, put everything in conclusion, Rome did not fall in a day, it fell over the course of centuries, and many people think it fell in a day, but it really didn't.